Hey you guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. Today I'm going to teach you all about how to track your macros when it comes to recipes. Now this might seem a little bit confusing or overwhelming if you've never tracked macros before, or if you are new to tracking macros, welcome. It is life changing. So sometimes with recipes, it isn't always easy to divide your recipe into equal portions, or actually it just might seem that way. So I'm going to take you through the steps of how to make your favorite comfort food, like something like a stew, a chili, a crock pot meal, and how to easily be able to import that recipe into MyFitnessPal, import all of the ingredients, and how you can actually switch up ingredients for that recipe during different times that you're trying to track that meal. So I'm going to be making Jamie Eason's turkey chili, but I'm going to switch it up a little bit, add a few ingredients in there that the recipe doesn't call for. I'm going to show you how to do that and how to change it around, say in a couple weeks, if you want to make the normal recipe as well. So I'm personally just switching up some of the ingredients to make it a little bit more hearty, and I have lean beef on hand. I don't have lean turkey, so I'm going to go ahead and just swap that in, substitute that ingredient in. It's so easy, and I'm going to show you how to do it, and I'm going to show you how to save that recipe so that you can use it later on. I'm also going to show you how to weigh out your recipe into grams, so each portion that you're eating is going to be perfect, exact every single time that you make your lunches or dinners for the entire week, so that you can hit your macros easily and accurately. So let's get started. To begin, I'll show you really quickly how to import a recipe into MyFitnessPal if you've never done this before. Go ahead and copy the URL of the recipe you're making. Then I find this feature in MyFitnessPal is easiest to use on the desktop. So log in, you'll click on food and then recipes, and then paste your URL into the box below. Finally, click import recipe. MyFitnessPal will then scan the URL and upload all of the ingredients automatically. You're going to click match ingredients, and then you'll have to scan the list of ingredients, including the measurements, to make sure that everything is correct. In this case, for some reason, MyFitnessPal didn't understand canned diced tomatoes, so I have to search for the ingredient in the database and match it to the recipe, including the serving size. Once all of the ingredients are matched, you can save the recipe. Okay, getting into actually making the recipe here. It is pretty simple and easy. I actually didn't have turkey on hand, so I'm substituting lean beef instead, and I'm also adding a few ingredients. I'll show you how to edit your MyFitnessPal recipe in just a bit. So let's get into creating these recipes accurately in order to track your macros. You'll need a scale to start. Go ahead and put the measurement into grams and zero out the weight. Next, take the pot you'll be cooking with and grab the weight on that. As you can see, the pot weighs 1,361 grams. Make sure you write the weight down so you can subtract it out of the final recipe later on. Now comes the fun part. Let's start to cook. For this recipe, I'm just sauteing the peppers and onions first. And then I go ahead and add the meat and seasoning and cook it until it's brown. Finally, I add in the rest of the super tasty ingredients. Stir and put a lid on it to cook for 10 to 20 minutes. This recipe is so tasty and hearty, and it is a really good meal prep option. It reheats really well, and you can add in a bunch of extras to make it your own. Okay, once your recipe is done cooking, you're going to place the whole pot on your scale again. If it's hot, make sure you put a pad down. So now this chili comes out to 3,866 grams. Now we have to do a little bit of easy math. Whip out your calculator and subtract the full recipe from the weight of the empty pot. Basically, we're trying to figure out how much the chili alone weighs. Make sure to write that down for later. Next, go back into your MyFitnessPal app and pull out the recipe you've already created. I'm going to show you how to change it and add any extra ingredients you used. Let me show you a few things I'm changing. The original recipe calls for 2 cans of diced green chilies, but I only had 1 on hand. So I'll click on the ingredient and change the number of servings from 2 to 1. Next, I need to change up the beans. I had kidney beans on hand, so that's what I used this time. Now you can either search for the ingredient, or you can tap the barcode feature in MyFitnessPal and actually scan the barcode to pull up the exact nutrition information. Make sure you change the serving size to what you actually used. In this case, I used 1 full container. Now I'm going to replace the turkey with my 2 blends of ground beef, also using the barcode feature. So I click the turkey ingredient, and then I click search for alternative, and then I'll scan the meat. Once again, make sure to import the correct serving size. If you look at the nutrition label of your ingredient, it should tell you how many servings are in a full container. Once I've added all my extra ingredients into the recipe, I'll rename it so it's easy for me to find and retool the next time I make it. You can also click more nutrition facts and see the macros for this dish. This is where I like to mess around with serving size. The original recipe calls for 12 servings, but I think they're a little too small and it doesn't really fulfill my macro needs. So I went ahead and changed the servings from 12 to 8. Okay, getting back into our measurement. You'll divide the weight of the chili by the amount of serving the recipe calls for. In this case, I'm dividing it by 8. Once you have that weight, you can accurately track your macros each time you pull out the chili from your refrigerator. Go ahead and put a bowl on the scale. You're going to zero it out and scoop out the individual portion size. In my case, this is 313 grams. I like to take a piece of duct tape and write the individual portion weight down and stick it to the pot for the week so I can easily remember and pull out exact portion sizing. And that's it, pretty easy peasy. If you guys want to see more videos regarding macros or nutrition, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and you can also leave me a comment below. Let me know if you've tracked macros before and what some of your favorite meals are. Also, head over to my blog, dumbbellblonde.com. I went ahead and linked the recipe for this chili, and you'll be able to find other awesome recipes and workouts on my blog. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'll see you soon.